live in the living room of A Million Ashes. This is Singles Shooting Doubles. Welcome to my bar. This is where I like to hang with all the other single folks with a broken hearts gang. Well, I know all their names, all their stories and their plight, and I'll tell you mine anytime, 'cause I'm in here every night. Well, Richie likes his whiskey, he's got his eye on Cass, but she don't like his flame tattoo or the type of beard he has. And Al's the music expert by the jukebox in the back. He'll save you money if you ask, and play you any track. And we're all singles, shooting doubles on a Saturday night. We're all drinking, two old lovers who passed us by, and we've all got our heartbreak songs and a reason why she's gone, and a shot to try to make things right. We're all single shooting doubles on a Saturday night. Yeah! Well, Stu the guitar man, he used to play Gibson guitars till he got caught with his pants down. Now he's smashed up in the yard. And Andy was a player back there in the day, but now he don't even look at girls, and we think he's turning grey. And we're all singles, shooting doubles on a Saturday night. We're all drinking, two old lovers who passed us by, and we've all got our heartbreak songs and a reason why she's gone, and a shot to try to make things right. We're all single shooting doubles on a Saturday night. Yeah! Woo! Yeah! I came here 'cause I lost love, but I found somebody else. That flaming gold 18-year-old in a bottle on the shelf. 'Cause we're all single, shooting doubles on a Saturday night. We're all drinking, two old lovers who passed us by, and we've all got our heartbreak songs and a reason why she's gone, and a shot to try to make things right. We're all single shooting doubles on a Saturday night. We're all single shooting doubles on a Saturday night. We're all single shooting doubles on a Saturday night. Yahoo! Yeah!
Welcome back to Live in the Living Room. I'm Dom from Country Chat with Dom, and today is a special BCMA Fan Fest special. Throughout today's show, we have performances from artists that have played at this year's Fan Fest, alongside a few interviews that myself and Paul from the BCMA had with a few of the artists. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the bell, just so you don't miss out on any of the shows. Now, kicking us off today was A Million Ashes with Singles Shooting Doubles. Be sure to give them a follow on their social media, which the handles are just below. Now, coming up next is a chat that we had with Biddy and the Bullets at the Newark Showground. We're here on the final day of the BCMA Fan Fest 2022, and I'm joined here by Biddy and the Bullets. Hello, guys.
Hi.
How have you found the festival so far today? Because you've just come up today to perform, and it's a bit warm.
Oh my gosh. It's hotter than the sun on stage.
Yeah. I mean, just watching you guys kind of like perform, and then between the songs, I think every single act so far this weekend has mentioned the heat, because it is insanely hot.
There's nothing, your brain doesn't think of anything else though. I didn't know what was going
It
on.
doesn't help when there's lights on stage behind you and in front of you.
I mean, it's one thing that obviously as a fan of country music, and obviously we watch, from away from the stage, we don't realise how hot it is actually up there. And
It's hot enough sat down where you are.
Exactly. I mean, you guys absolutely nailed your performances though. I mean, I'm so glad you finished with Run. I've always said it's my favourite song.
It's our favourite, well, my favourite I think.
And it's great to hear Dark Side as well. you're finally getting out there as Biddy and the Bullets.
Yeah, well, it's taken some time. We're just talking about like the next thing that we do and how to do things and write more.
Yeah.
And you like the big long list starts to appear.
In terms of like next releases then from Biddy and the Bullets, you know, have we got anything coming up in the near future? Have we got like a timeline of things that are going to happen?
There's a couple of
Yeah,
tracks
there's a
that we're working on.
We're just not decided which one's coming next.
Yeah.
It might be the cover, it might be the ballad. I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think we're high time due a ballad. Like,
well, that's one thing I do love about your sound at the moment. Obviously, with Biddy and the Bullets, it's more of a darker side of country, and it's very unique, and it's great to
You're right
see.
These.
It's great to see you all. I mean, you're all equally amazing on stage. I mean, your voice blew me away. It really did, and I just, you know, when you sit there and you're just thinking,
He's not going to sound like that.
he sounds amazing.
to be fair, this is why I think the ballad might come next, because you get a lot on that ballad.
We're
It's a duet, actually. Yeah.
Now, where did you guys actually officially meet then? I'm always curious about this.
I met you on a stage show, didn't I, Stu?
No, actually, before
Oh,
that,
before the debate.
it was you were singing in a club.
Oh yeah, and you saved my bacon because my mixing desk blew up.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, so a mutual friend basically rang me up and said, he said, "Are you out tonight?" I went, "No." He said,
Can you
"I've
help?
got a friend around the corner from where I live who's doing a gig and their desk gone. Have you got a desk you can take down?" Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so I just took mine down and basically did the sound for the night. And then we were talking about you because you were thinking about moving away at that point as well, weren't
Oh
you? You had the
yeah,
option
I
of
was
moving
going to
away.
Australia. This is going way back now.
Or go and do the Blues Brothers thing.
Yeah.
But, and then I ended up doing sound on one of the Blues Brothers show.
Yeah.
And then from there we ended up just doing some more stuff, like some recording and stuff together, and that's how we ended up really with us two anyway. And then
And Darren, how did we find you?
Yeah. During lockdown,
Yeah.
really, weren't it? Just saw this ad on Facebook saying looking for a lead guitarist, and the bands that were in previous, things were dying down a little bit, and obviously with lockdown you couldn't get together and rehearse.
Yeah.
And just had a look at Biddy on various platforms and thought, sounds pretty good this, because I'm a country virgin, me.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, but my dad, when I was growing
loves
up,
it.
he were into like real country, Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But being a rebel, I went against all that and got into the rock side. But coming back to it and playing with these guys, that's all I've been listening to recently. And
Yeah.
there's some damn good stuff out there.
Well, that's it. I mean, you know, as fans of country, we're always fans of multiple genres that kind of merge in. You know, you've got a lot of country fans that are fans of pop, and you've got, you know, fans that are rock, and it's great to see that kind of merging between the two genres, you know, the country rock side. And what you bring to the band is some insane guitar riffs. You really do shred it. It's wonderful.
That's Stuart.
Yeah, I mean, in general, you know, every single part of the band really does jam together. You know, that's where I'm trying to come from. The fact that you do, you merge. And
We're just saying, we're like, because we're
blends.
still like baby steps and finding our feet a little bit sometimes. We're like, we sometimes feel like, oh, we're together on stage, and it's like, oh, were we? And I was saying the wrong words today. Stu was like,
You
God's
see, you really
sake.
wouldn't have known. The way that you just present yourself, you command the stage.
Okay, just-
You all command the stage.
it helps
it
if
till
you
you
don't know,
make it.
the audience don't know the
Yeah,
songs
that's
as well.
true as well. They were the lesser
It's
known
never going to be right
songs.
to those
No.
people.
Could have just been a different language.
Obviously, Biddy were solo for quite a while.
Yeah.
So when I was listening to the tracks, every single song that these guys had written, I just thought, crackers.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant tunes. And I think, you know, if they catch it and you remember them like the next day, it's done its job.
Exactly. It's cemented itself in your brains. And
Yeah.
that's what music's supposed to do. You're supposed to connect with it, and I really do. And you know, I remember the very first time I heard Run. You know, I'll always go back to Run. The fact that, you know, I even got the lyric sheet from you. You know,
Of
when we
course, yeah,
first
it's
had
way
our
back.
chat, and you know, it's something that's always kind of like been the forefront of my memories when it comes to country music, particularly UK country. And you've always got a solid place in my heart with
Grand.
country music. Now, we mentioned a second ago about the Blues Brothers.
Yes.
Has that now come to an
Yes,
end?
I left, a couple months ago now. And now I'm on one. Well, it was called One Night in Texas. It's called the Big Country Music Show now with Deanne Dexter. Which we are touring for the foreseeable future.
Is there like a set time, or is it just a case of you keep going until
It's a case of keep going until someone leaves.
till you all collapse? But
pretty much, yeah.
definitely have to check it out. Where can we find you guys on social media?
Oh, we're at Biddy and the Bullets pretty much across all socials now.
Fantastic.
Took me a while to get them in line.
In terms of opening gigs in the next couple months, what have we got coming up?
Friday.
This Friday coming up, yeah.
Rock and Ribs down in Wincanton.
Oh, I've always heard that's an amazing festival. I've always wanted to go.
Some
We were a fluke,
classic
we were getting
rock
that one.
tribute acts going on. Kiss, Motley Crue.
We
Yeah,
even
it's
thrown a
cool.
bit of Kiss into one of our newer songs as well.
Really?
Yeah. Just thought, why
Just
not?
sort of works in the middle of it. So we'll see how well that goes down. At the
Absolutely
show.
insane. I can't wait. I
then,
really
yeah.
cannot wait.
And then I think we're kind of toying with the idea because we were lined up to do a couple of gigs, and this promoter's kind of fallen through, and everything's kind of just gone back in the box.
I think
So-
a lot, obviously, people are struggling for money and that, with the crisis that's on, and I think, you know, it's difficult to get people to come, especially to original bands playing original music. But
Yeah, I think band being the operative word because everyone's got to have something out of it.
Yeah.
And it's more expensive to put bands on, etc. So I think we're kind of toying with the idea. We're going to talk to a couple of bands.
Yeah.
And see about double heading maybe a week or so at the end of the year, or maybe early next year. And
Well, that's
See
why
how we do.
that's why I love festivals like, you know, this BCMA Fan Fest. The fact that you get so many artists and fans travelling up and down the country. So it's, you know, it's kind of actually a nice central location. You know, the
Yeah,
fact that
yeah.
It's centre of the country and everybody can kind of like amalgamate into this one area. And it's been a wonderful weekend. And, you know, just having you guys here today has topped it off, really, for me.
thank you.
So thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure
Thank you.
chatting. And I look forward to seeing you at your next gigs.
yeah.
Cheers.
That was the chat we had with Biddy and the Bullets, who were absolutely sensational during their performance at this year's BCMA Fan Fest. Be sure to give Biddy and the Bullets a follow on their socials. The handles are again just below. As you can tell from the chat that we had with Biddy, and you'll be able to tell from all the performances and the other interviews, the weather was so hot at the showground. It was reaching up to 30 degrees. It was in a barn, and everything was just so warm. But the weather itself was just, it stayed beautiful throughout the whole weekend, and it really, really was amazing. Along with the wonderful weather, the whole weekend was rather perfect, which I'll go into more throughout the show as it goes on. Now, coming up next is a performance and a chat with the sensational Tim Prottey-Jones. But first, here he is with his song, Drinking for Three.
Hi, it's Tim Prottey-Jones here for Live in the Living Room, and this song is called Drinking for Three, and it's about this guy here. There were times when I thought we'd had our chance. There were days we agreed we just can't. But we never gave up. 6 years and shown them that we're strong, and we proved to them they were wrong. Nobody tells us no. I guess it's broken love. Let us hear to you. It was worth a broken heart. Oh.
Well, we're here with Tim Prottey-Jones at the BCMA Fan Fest in Newark. How you doing, man?
Very well, thanks, man. Not too bad at all. Hot.
Oh, it's
very hot.
So I look at you dressed with all sorts of layers on. What's going on?
I'm a layers kind of guy. I am. I've got to be honest. I wasn't built for this weather, so I just I stay firm and just dress wintry all the time.
Oh wow, you're never disappointed then.
No, absolutely.
Not with the English weather.
Exactly.
For 2 days a year, you might get hot.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's a risk.
But you're on later on this evening. Looking forward to what can we expect from you this evening?
So it's a solo set, which is weird for a Saturday night.
Yeah,
but, we're going to go for it, and it's just going to be half songs, half banter, probably. Knowing me, I like to get involved with stupid chat wherever possible. So
good.
I welcome heckles.
You probably will get some tonight.
I hope
drinks are plenty.
Oh, I know. Heat and drinks.
Oh man, there's everybody walking around with red faces.
I know. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen some cracking tans already.
Yeah, that's brilliant. What about new music?
Always, yeah. I'm always working on new stuff. So I think there'll certainly be a couple tonight that I haven't played. Certainly acoustically before.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice to see how it goes down. It's always a good marker to see how people react to your stuff, to know what to put out next, especially nowadays where you're putting out new songs every 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever. So it's a very different way of working, but yeah, we'll see how they go down.
And when's the next one coming out then?
It's a very good question. Don't know. It's imminent though. It will be within the next couple of months.
Okay.
I genuinely cannot decide which one to do.
Any collaborations?
Not for the next one, I don't think, but I've got a couple in the pipeline. Some are all ready to go. And obviously, I've done a few collaborations before, so I want to make sure that I'm getting my own solo stuff out there as much as I can as well. Yeah. We might collaborate on something, might we, mate? What do you think?
Oh.
So that's my son, for anyone who can't hear that.
But no, it's been a pleasure. And as I said, you've just done an acoustic number for us as well, which is awesome song as well. Is that one of the new ones?
It is. It's quite new, in as much as it's not been released yet. But it's something that I'm really building up to because it's a song that means a great deal to me and my family as well. So
awesome.
I just want to make sure the time's right for it, and who knows when that is anymore.
I know. But apart from your own performance, anybody looking forward to seeing tonight?
Yeah, I know Preston is about to play, so I want to definitely catch him.
I know, that's why I thought, will you come in early?
There you go,
catch it? Yeah.
No, but he's putting out some really exciting stuff,
He is.
I'm looking forward to that. Holloway Road,
Yep.
Eric and Jensen are always brilliant fun. But I know I've missed a few people last night as well, so I know Katie O'Malley earlier, she's brilliant, always great. So there's loads around.
Alan Finlan knocked it out the park last night.
Of course he did.
With his band. But Eric and Jensen and the family have been there since Thursday with us.
I thought they had.
Yeah.
They posted on Thursday.
They've been hanging with us for a few days. So
That's brave.
And the dad as well. They're saying, look at our truck.
Yeah.
But it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Looking forward to your performance tonight.
Pleasure.
You take care and good luck with everything.
Thank you very much, man. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
That was Tim Prottey-Jones with his song Drinking for Three at this year's BCMA Fan Fest, who absolutely killed his performance. Tim really is a master of his craft, and seeing him on stage just really cemented this. Just make sure you are following Tim on all of his socials. His handles are again just below, and check out his radio show as well. Absolutely fantastic. So yes, you're tuned into Live in the Living Room. I'm Dom, your host. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell to keep up to date with all of the amazing performances from great artists that we get here at Live in the Living Room. Now, coming up next is the chat that I had with the absolutely sensational Harriet Rose on the first day of the Fan Fest. We're here at the BCMA Fan Fest here in Newark Showground. I'm here with the lovely Harriet Rose. Hi, Harriet.
Thank you. Hiya.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Very warm. It's very warm.
It's been 29, 30 degrees here already, and it's been absolutely insane. I've just listened to you doing your sound check, getting ready to perform tonight. Sounded amazing as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you excited to perform?
I am, yeah. I've never played here before, so it's the first I know it's the first BCMA Fan Fest, but FSA Fest is the first of those as well. So yeah, really excited.
Now, in terms of music, obviously you've got a couple of songs out already, Small Town Chains, and you've got some potential new music coming out in the near future. You've just had your Kickstarter, which has smashed its goal.
Yeah.
What, have we got anything coming up very soon that we're excited about?
So there's no releases just yet, so we're planning the recording and we're going into record soon, but the main idea is to just get everything out as soon as we can. We've got so many songs, like a backlog of songs that have been waiting. So it's just exciting to be able to record them and then just go hear everybody enjoy them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, your fan base at the moment is absolutely insane, considering you've only got 2 official released songs.
Yeah.
And just the whole crowd absolutely love you. I mean, Voice of a Woman, Linda Conway is your biggest advocate, and we all love Linda, and we all love yourself. And the great thing is, when you go onto other people's like Twitch channels, we can, you're always there. I mean, Adele and Andy, another great duo. Mm-hmm. Every time we're watching them, we'll see your name pop up and we're like, oh, Harriet, hiya. Now, in terms of going out to these different gigs and festivals, because we're here, you mentioned that this is your first time you're performing here.
Yeah.
You've got a couple more gigs throughout the weekend, and you're going to have a wonderful year ahead. I mean, now that COVID's hopefully finished now, and
I know Paul mentioned it earlier. It was like, don't say it. No.
It has been stressful. It's been a stressful few years. I mean, we've seen each other twice, 3 times now with Live in the Living Room.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to actually be able to see each other and be here and actually have a face-to-face chat rather than just Zoom or FaceTime. It's so different.
It is. It's good. Interviewing in person is good.
So actually interviewing, when it comes to actually having these chats, it's actually nice to be able to be here and actually see you in the flesh, because you're an idol. You really are in terms.
Oh God, yeah. Don't say that. I'm not.
You genuinely are, particularly with I've mentioned Small Town Chains already. The fact that your music at the moment just really speaks to everyone's heart. And, there's a couple of songs, and I'm not going to mention them because it tears me up every time Linda talks about them, but the way that you write songs, the way that you bring songs to life really does pull on the emotional heartstrings, and it hits the right sentiment, it hits the right note. And where does that come from? It takes, I'm expecting some form of childhood trauma because of how amazing you do write.
No, I think I don't plan, when I write, I don't sit down and go, I'm going to write a song about this, I'm going to, this is a topic and I'm going to produce that song. Most of the stuff I write, in fact, all of it at the minute, and the set this evening is stuff where I've gone through something in the day, or not quite childhood trauma, but things that I've gone through growing up, and then my emotions have just come out. And I think that's why sometimes it's honest writing. Yeah. And I think when people listen to that, and it's throughout all country music, it's just things that people can relate to. And when you listen to it and it's honest, and the person singing it's kind of going, here's my heart for you, you notice it and you can hear it. But yeah, no childhood trauma.
Well, I'm excited to see what comes in the very near future with your studio work.
Thank you. Yeah, excited.
Where can we find you on social media?
On social media, Harriet Rose Music, absolutely everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And I'll be posting updates with the recording, everything like that. They'll be out soon when we get there.
I'm so excited. Everybody, please check out Harriet. Amazing musician, amazing songwriter, and if you can get yourself to some festivals or gigs. That was the chat that I had with Harriet Rose at this year's Fan Fest, who really kicked off the weekend with great music. It was wonderful to see Harriet as well with her backing band, and it just added that extra little element to the show. It just gave that power to the performance, and just really, really rounded everything off really, really nicely. It was such a great performance there from Harriet, and it was great chatting to her as well. I've spoken to her a few times on my podcast and on the Instagram lives, and she's just so down to earth. It's finally great to see her again performing live. Make sure you are following Harriet. Her handles are below. And just check out her music as well. She's just recently done her Kickstarter campaign where she's crowdfunded for her album. Be sure to check out her socials for when we are going to be seeing new music. Now, coming up next is another fantastic performance from the Flatland Kings. And here they are with their song, These Are the Days.
New York City sound asleep. When Paris seemed romantic, when love is all we need. There's silence on the streets of London, neon lights out in Tokyo. There's a change here coming, we'll keep holding on. 'Cause these are the days we will remember. These are the days that shape our lives. We won't give in, we won't surrender. These are the days. Oh, oh, oh. You and me sit alone on your back porch, making dreams, wishing they come to life. We're just two lost souls in this big black hole, waiting here for the stars to align. Going out in the world on a mission, searching for what we had the whole time. Be humble, stay true, be kind and break through all these fools that keep wasting our time. 'Cause these are the days we will remember. These are the days that shape our lives. We won't give in, we won't surrender. These are the days. Whoa, oh, oh. Be rest assured we'll find a way. We live to fight another day. Yeah, these are the days. So here's another anthem. These are for you all to sing along. Hey, hey, we're all in this together. One voice to stand up and be strong. There's silence on the streets of London, neon lights out in Tokyo. There's a change here coming, we'll keep holding on. 'Cause these are the days we will remember. These are the days that shape our lives. We won't give in, we won't surrender. These are the days. Whoa, oh, oh. And be rest assured we'll find a way. These are the days. We live to fight another day. Yeah, these are the days.
That was the Flatland Kings with These Are The Days here on Live in the Living Room at this year's BCMA Fan Fest. And it really was amazing to meet up with the whole band, as we used to seeing three of them, just the three, performing at the Live in the Living Room Gives Back events. But it was really, really nice to hear the whole band coming together and really, really pumping that energy into the festival, into the arena. It really, really, really was a great performance from the guys. And seeing them there, performing there, really brought back memories of the whole weekend. They really were absolutely fantastic. Be sure to give them all a follow as well on their socials. Flatland Kings handles are just below. And it's also great to meet up with Sam Ellis from Flatland Kings, because he does all of our editing for Live in the Living Room, and it's great to actually get to see him and speak with him and chat with him. Be sure to give him a follow as well. His handles are just below. If you're wanting any mixing, mastering, production work, he's the guy to check out. Really great guy. Now, next up is a chat with the absolutely fantastic Ellinor Springstrike.
Well, folks, we're into the late afternoon now on Saturday at the BCMA Fan Fest in Newark. I'm here with Swedish singing sensation Ellinor Springstrike, good friend of mine. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
No, nice to see you, even though you're late.
Long time no seen.
No.
Am I late? No.
You're in Swedish time. That's what you can get away with that one.
The worst thing is we're 1 hour ahead in Sweden.
There you go. Oh, well, how's things anyway? You looking forward to your performance tonight?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So what can we expect tonight? Anything new?
Yes, anything new? You will hear my latest single, I'll Be Around.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and actually a couple of new tracks that I haven't played live yet on my own, so we'll really hear everything. Everything. And I actually have a whole new set.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So since we met last time, you're not gonna recognize so many songs.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that because sometimes you do need a little bit of a spring clean and get some new, fresh ideas and new things.
Oh, I didn't just do a spring clean. I did like a whole
full house clean.
Full house clean, yes. So let's see what happens. And this is the first time we're gonna do this new show, so it will be fun. Yeah.
I have had a look. I've had a little sneak peek of some of the stuff that you recorded that you sent the other week, and I went, wow! And I'm not sharing it with anybody, but it is really, really good. And there's like some of the couple of covers that you've done are fantastic.
Well, you're gonna hear some of those tonight.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I hope they sound as good as the
And
recording.
you're staying around the corner, aren't you? So you're here for the party after.
Oh yeah, here, right?
Well, we might do it in here, but we're thinking. It was going to be tomorrow, but we might bring it forward and have 2 nights. It's a big fire pit, and just pass the guitar on and sing, and all around the fire outside. Just get the beers, because we've got the beers stocked up here, and then just get everybody to do a little bit around the fire.
Nice.
But you'll enjoy it.
We're staying.
Because you're a party animal.
Oh yeah, party mood already. Was it 5 o'clock?
I don't know, but so when are you going to release quite a lot of this new stuff, then?
The new stuff, I don't have a release date. I'm working with a new producer.
Brilliant.
In Nashville, so I'm still finishing up the EP. So it's been like, I don't know, this pandemic and everything takes a long time. But I feel like I'm raising the bar, so I've let it take a little more time.
Yeah, get it right.
Yeah, and so it won't be until the fall, I think, the next track coming out.
Well, practice makes perfect, and time waits.
I hope so.
Yay, you will be. I mean, like I said, the little short tour that we did, it was a phenomenal performance. So I'm really looking forward to tonight.
You were phenomenal.
What?
You were great.
Me?
Performing with you.
Oh,
yeah.
Shucks.
No.
Oh, shucks.
When have you over in Sweden soon?
Well, that'll be good.
Yes.
Do we need to speak Swedish?
Yeah, you need to learn a couple of words.
Oh, well,
otherwise we get in trouble.
I was going to say the clean words I want to learn. No, go teaching me any of that dirty stuff,
Oh, not me. I won't do that to you, Paul.
But it's been an absolute pleasure to see you all again, and I can't wait to see you set. And it's been
the same.
Nice to have you over here again.
I love to be here.
Yay!
That was the conversation I had with the wonderful Ellinor Springstrike, who performed alongside the brilliant Gareth Nugent here at Live in the Living Room at the BCMA Fan Fest. It really, really was amazing to see her performing, to see her on stage and just embracing that whole duet with Gareth, and then taking a few songs herself. Really, really was such a great event, and she's so talented. Be sure to give Eleanor a follow on her socials. Her handles are just below. Now, next up is Moriah Domby with her song, Tiffany Blue.
Never seen the sun shine so bright through black and white. Reflected in the window pane. Only beautiful things are most beautiful is you, Tiffany. I'm dying here. I'm missing you. I'm missing you, Tiffany. They don't make them like they used to, not like you, Tiffany Blue, Tiffany Blue. Timeless, sparkling. I'd never believe you wanna last forever, Tiffany. I'm dying. I'm missing you. I'm missing you, Tiffany. They don't make them like they used to, not like you, Tiffany Blue. Tiffany Blue, Tiffany Blue, Tiffany Blue. Tiffany Blue.
Welcome to the BCMA Fan Fest 2022, and I'm here with a brilliant Nashville artist, Moriah Domby. Is that right?
That's
Is that
correct.
I did
That's
it
right.
correct.
That was perfect.
Because I called her Moira before. I said, no, it's not. It's not like that.
I'll answer to that. That's fine.
No, how are you finding it?
Oh my gosh, this has been so nice so far. It's a little warm, which we're used to in Nashville, so it's been good. I saw the Tennessee flag out there, which is where we live, so we're feeling right at home, honestly.
Yeah, you've been in the UK a little bit now, haven't you?
We
Done
have.
some touring as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this is my first time playing in the UK, which has been really great, and the people have been so warm. We were up in Tynemouth, and beautiful area. The people were great. We played in London, and that was also a lot of fun. Now we're here, and so it's just been great so far. The people mostly, I feel like, have been just so warm and welcoming, and
drunk.
That's been yes, I haven't met a sober one yet, so it's been great.
And you're on this afternoon, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and what can we expect from your set then? What's on there?
I'm excited to play my brand new single that just came out on July 1st. It's called Tiffany Blue, so
wow.
I'm including that. And then I've got a couple other songs I'm playing that I've had the pleasure of making some music videos for and have played pretty well over here in the UK. So I'm excited to play that live here for the first time. Could Have Tried and When I Need You the Most.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just excited to play a few of those. I've got my husband here with me playing guitar, and that's always my favorite band. So I feel like
absolutely.
that's such a joy. So we're just having a good time.
And what's around the corner then? Have you got new music to come out, like another EP or album?
Yeah, so July 1st was Tiffany Blue, so welcome anyone to go stream that a bazillion times. And then I've also got something else coming out this fall, so be on the lookout for that. But if you follow me on Spotify or Apple Music or head to my website, MoriahDomby.com, then you can get a hold of whenever the music comes out, especially Spotify, because if you like me on Spotify, it'll tell you right off the bat when something new comes out. So that's always a good way to stay on top of things, for sure.
I know you've got to be so on it now, haven't you, on social media and everything like that, but it's been an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to hear your performance as well. You're going to do as an acoustic number now, but yeah, thank you very much for coming into the UK and look forward to your performance.
Thank you, Paul. So appreciate it.
That was Moriah Domby with her song Tiffany Blue, which was so wonderful to listen to at the BCMA Fan Fest. Mariah's handles are just below, because you've got to give her a follow. You'll really, really want to, because you'll be up to date with all of her music and everything that she's doing in the next coming few weeks and months. So yes, absolutely fantastic. And be sure to follow everybody else that has been Featured here on Live in the Living Room as well. Their handles are coming up as each artist comes up, so be sure to give them a search on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and check out the websites as well. Just have a quick look and see what they're offering. Now, the whole weekend genuinely was a brilliant weekend. One thing that really stood out amongst the wonderful musicians that were there was the whole team behind the event itself. Speaking with a lot of fans at the festival, we all had the same agreement, and I wanted to give the sound guys a huge shout out because they were there from the first act all the way through to the last act, making sure everybody sounded equally as amazing as they did, and they had to endure the heat that we was all suffering. They really did a top-notch performance. It really was great, so I just wanted to give them a shout out as well. Now, next up here on Live in the Living Room is a conversation that we had with the simply amazing Savannah Jaine. We're here at the BCMA Fan Fest 2022. I'm Dom and I'm joined by Savannah Jaine and Lee. How are you guys?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Absolutely fantastic. I'm absolutely loving the festival so far. You've just performed. Absolutely outstanding. Like, what goes through your head when you're about to go on stage and just getting excited for the gigs?
Do we have the right cables? Have we tuned? Yeah, today it felt a little hectic this morning, but it was great once we got on stage. It was kind of just like we settled in a bit. Yeah. That's where it feels at home, kind of.
When you're kind of like getting ready to go on stage, then do you have like a preset list that you've got in mind? Like, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to rehearse, this is how it's going to go, this is how I want it to go? Or do you just go there and just kind of like wing it, see how the crowd feel, and then just kind of like play around with it on stage?
Recently we've been doing the winging it part.
Yeah. They're the fun ones.
Yeah, recently we've been winging it. But usually we'll get together and we'll practice if we've got like a full band set or if we've got some things to think about or some new songs to do. But for a few of these sets, we've just been going up there and feeling it out.
It's essentially a little bit of a jam.
Yeah.
For the moment.
Those are the best kind of gigs I always find, though, when it is just you play for the moment, you play for the jam, and you play for the crowd, because ultimately that is, you're kind of going off the crowd and how they're reacting with the songs, and those are always the best ones that always come out nicer as well. I also want to talk about Make It Happen.
Sure.
We messaged a couple of times over this past few months about organising a podcast chat, and when I first listened to Make It Happen, just the sunshine, the summery, the whole amazing vibes that you get from that song.
I like it.
Where did it come from? Tell me about it.
We were actually driving home from Dorset. Do you know Joey Clarkson?
Yes, I do.
She's a good friend of mine that I met randomly in an open mic in Scotland.
Oh, wow.
6 years ago.
Of all the places.
And, but yeah, we were staying with her, and then we were riding back in the car and talking about all the things that we wanted to do. Yeah. If we could finger snap and just make it happen. If we were magic, and if we had $3 million, possibly more at this point, to do, and then we just kind of said, well, we could make it happen, and I'd do it for you, so we just kind of started writing it in the car, and then when we got home, just put it all together.
How was the actual process then of actually, say you're on the car journey, you're talking with Joey, you're talking about these kind of different ideas, so then actually sitting down and getting it on paper and saying, okay, this is how it's going to be laid out, what was that whole process like?
Well, for those ones, I kind of wrote it and put it together, and then I passed it off to you, and you do your...
Yeah.
You want to talk about your arranging?
Well, it's more about what not to use.
Yeah.
If you like, it's the process of kind of critically eliminating things that don't serve the ends of the artistic intention of the song.
Yeah.
And you do your little guitar solos.
Yeah, that's right. So we just put it together and just try and simulate the band that's in our head, I suppose. Most of our songs that we write together are just like that, more like conversations in the car that then manifest later when we decide to get our guitars out for 20 minutes or something. But we always do it when we're doing that, always doing it with in mind to arrange it for some sort of band, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you when you're writing songs then, so do you think about the live acoustic sessions and then thinking about how it's going to sound with the band? Do you kind of play with different ideas in your head? How can we make this work? Or is it just a case of, all right, we'll get this band version done and we'll see how we can kind of adapt it for a stage acoustic session?
Yeah, well, I suppose we take care of the band thing. We think about that first, and then it's finished. We're sort of covering our own songs, so we kind of produce the song and arrange it, record it, and then when it's recorded, we kind of approach it as though we are an acoustic duo, just covering another song that we generally do anyway.
Yeah.
So we tend to do gigs, and sometimes we do country versions of like Whitney Houston or whatever, and we're just doing we're just covering ourselves, I suppose.
I guess so.
You know, that's kind of.
What is your favourite cover song to do then?
Since I worked on cruise ships for a long time, and I led a brass band on cruise ships, there was like a lot of horns, a lot of Motown. I like to do acoustic versions of like Tina Turner stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of is like, you wouldn't think that Proud Mary or like Simply the Best works in a country way, but it really does. And like, I Want to Dance with Somebody, like even stuff like I Get So Emotional Baby, like that works in a country acoustic way really well. And you don't think that it would. Dancing Queen works really well as a country song.
Yeah.
It really does.
Oh wow.
It does. It plays really well. We do those together sometimes, just like because we'll do cover gigs sometimes. And that's what we used to do on cruise ships. It's just all cover stuff. So it just works really well. I think. I don't know if I could pick just one.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not
just
sure.
all of them.
Yeah, all of it. It's just so interesting to take a good song is a good song. We were talking about this on the way here.
Yeah, it's true.
It works in any style, a good song. Yeah. So, like, if you take something like I Want to Dance with Somebody, it's a Whitney Houston song. It's a pop tune, a dance tune, but it works on acoustic guitar. It works really well.
Tell us about the voice as well. If you can transition that, from one sound, one genre to another. If you've got the ability to do that,
Girls Just Want to Have Fun's another one that works as a country song with Cyndi Lauper. That song works as a country song all day.
Yeah. Well, your influences are quite varied, aren't they? Because you like a lot of you like a lot of the Nashville pop and country pop stars from the 90s, but you also like big vocalists like Celine Dion and Whitney Houston and people like that. So.
Very varied then, and very, there's a nice range.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. You mentioned earlier when we was walking over here about gigs. You've got a couple of gigs coming up.
Yeah, we do. We've got, we're playing a private party tonight, and then what else do we have coming up? I've got them marked down. We're playing at the Mill House in August.
Oh, really?
And then we're recording an album, so that's basically what we're working on, like full steam ahead. I've got a calendar somewhere. I should write that down.
That was going to be my next question. So in terms of music, because I mentioned about Make It Happen, because that was the latest release. In terms of new music, how much, you mentioned an album, how many tracks on this album are we going to be expecting?
Well, I wrote like 24,
wow.
Or maybe more than that. And then I've just been kind of like going through them and like editing them. I think we're going to be able to feasibly do 11.
Yeah, sure. So,
is what we've come up with. And so we're going into the studio next month. We're excited.
So excited. Wait, what kind of like timeline are you thinking about then for the release, or is that all hush hush at the moment?
It's hush hush because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
We haven't talked.
It's in the conceptual realm.
Yeah, it's just in the theoretical realm. But we're working with a good PR company, Charlotte of Kiwi Bear.
Yes.
She's helping us a lot, and we're just kind of putting it together in the next few months. But I've never done a full-length album. I've always really wanted to.
Yeah.
And it kind of just, the world turned enough for us to kind of be like, you know what? Maybe we could make that happen.
Well, you've got a fantastic team with Charlotte at Kiwi there as well. And I just want to say congratulations to Charlotte because she's just given birth to a new child. So congratulations, Charlotte.
Baby Arthur. Don't worry about my email. About that.
But thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure chatting with you guys. Where can we find you on social media?
I'm on Savannah Jaine under everything. It's Savannah, like a long grassy plain, and then Jaine. And then we're on Facebook as Savannah Jaine Lee Meadows as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Savannah. Thank you, Lee, for joining me. Be sure to give Savannah and Lee a follow on social media and check out the music as well. Absolutely fantastic. So thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was the conversation we had with the spectacular Savannah Jaine. the BCMA Fan Fest, and it is so great to have her here on Live in the Living Room. Looking forward to doing some more stuff with her as well outside of Live in the Living Room, because she's just such a talented artist. It really, really was wonderful seeing her perform amongst some other great artists as well at the BCMA Fan Fest. Be sure to give Savannah a follow on her socials. Her handles are just below. Now, if you are wanting to be a part of Live in the Living Room, if you're wanting to have your videos up here, if you're wanting to have a conversation with myself, be sure to send us a message at Live in the Living Room. Go over to our Facebook page or Twitter or our Instagram. Our handles are just below. And just send us a message. Send us what you'd like to do, whether it be a conversation, whether you'd like to have a performance, or whether you've got a inspirational, instructional video. Just let us know and we'll get you on the show. Now, next up is Shelleyann with her song, Fly Away.
Feel so cold I can hardly breathe. I hold my breath so quiet, count to 3. Oh, I can't sleep at night, no one to hold me tight. I don't know which way is right and which is wrong. I'm tired of living the lie and telling no one. 'Cause when I look you in the eye, you see the tears I've cried. So I let you fly away, even though my heart breaks in my arms, you'll stay. Memories behind us, so we don't feel the pain. I will still protect you far away. There's no goodbyes. Won't you sing with me this lullaby? Do 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 do, do do do. And now you're shining bright up in the sky. And I know you're looking down on us, but I can't count the stars at night. There's so many, I just need a sign. So I let you fly away, even though my heart breaks in my arms, you stay. Memories behind us, so we don't feel the pain. I will still protect you far away. There's no goodbyes. Won't you sing with me this lullaby? If we break these walls, two of you will fall. But there's only one I'm holding. There's no photographs, just a silent past. But she still sings a sweet melody. Do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do, do do do. So I let you fly away, even though my heart breaks in my arms, you stay. Memories behind us, so we don't feel the pain. I will still protect you far away. There's no goodbyes. Won't you sing with me this lullaby? Sweet lullaby. Do do do, do do do, do do do.
That was Shelleyann with her song Fly Away. Be sure to go give Shelleyann a follow on her socials. Her handles are just below. It was such a great performance. It really, really was. The event itself was such a blast as well, and I highly encourage everyone to get a ticket for next year's event. It was so good, and if it's half as good as it was this year, it's going to be double amount as great as it is next year. It really, really will be a great event to go to, and you will not be disappointed. One thing that I really did enjoy there, though, was the food itself. They had two kind of burger van stall things, and the one burger van stall sold all your traditional burgers, hot dogs, bacon sandwiches, coffees, teas, all the drinks you can think of. It was all there, crisps and all the snacky stuff. And then there was a second like truck type thing called Dirty Roots, and it had like the vegetarian-y, meat-free options, and they were amazing in itself. I'm normally a meat eater, but going over to Dirty Roots and trying their food and sampling their food, it was absolutely spectacular, and I'd highly recommend it to anybody. Thank you so much to BCMA for sorting those two out. It really was a great feast that we all had. Now, next up on Live in the Living Room is performance and a chat that we had with Andrew Jones, and here he is with his song, End of My Old Street.
It all started when I moved here as a young one. My first school and the friendships that I earned. Some good times, some I can't remember. I won't forget the lessons that I learned. It's my little town with all those memories. Sure ain't much, but was more than enough for me. So find a spot for me at the end of my old street. Now I've settled in the town that I grew up in, with my first house and a baby on the way. And I'll show him all the things we love about it, and teach him from the mistakes that I've made. It's our little town with all those memories. Sure ain't much, but was more than enough for me. So find a spot for me at the end of my old street. It won't matter just how far you go. Even when you go away, it calls you home. Now you've grown up in the town that I was raised in, with your first beer and a whiskey on the way. And I'm praying that you take after your mother, and try and avoid the regrets I can't change. It's your little town, so make some memories. Sure ain't much, but was more than enough for me. So find a spot for me. Find a spot for me at the end of my old street.
Well, folks, again we're here on a Friday at the BCMA Fan Fest 2022 at U Showground, and with Andrew Jones. How you doing, man?
Yeah, very good, very good. Nice to be here again. It's been a little while since I've been up here. So,
I think everybody's been a little while since they've been here, haven't they?
Yeah, it hasn't changed much. There's still the same green paint on the buildings, and yeah, everything's still looking good. So yeah, good to go tonight, I think.
What time are you on tonight?
About 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, cool. And what can we expect from your show tonight?
Yeah, so I've got a few original songs. I've also seen a band before, Journey Home. Been writing since we sort of went our separate ways, and tonight here to showcase some of my own original material and a few covers and stuff as well. So,
what's your favourite cover?
Oh, favourite cover? Oh, I mean, I've got the Chris Stapleton song tonight. But yeah, I won't tell you which one it is.
All right, okay.
Yeah, keep it a secret.
Well, this is going to go out in about a week's time.
Oh, okay. Well, it's Either Way by Chris Stapleton. So
I was lying. It's gone out tonight.
Oh,
No, I'm only
nice.
joking.
Oh,
No, I'm
it's
only joking. No. These media people, you know. No.
Yeah, no, it's I'm looking forward to it. First time in front of this sort of crowd for a little while, so yeah, it's been good to go.
And what's in the future for you? Got lots of gigs lined up?
Yeah, I've got a few things coming up in the summer. A few like local festivals and a few songwriters' nights and stuff coming up as well. And then yeah, so a new single in the works at the moment as well. A team in Nashville. That's a drinking game that I play about Nashville. So yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that one coming out in the next few months as well.
Yeah, you must let us know. We'll feature it on our weekly release as well. So that's all good. Because we decided to do a weekly release rather than just having one, choosing one. Give everybody a equal shout at the promotion. But okay, you've got a fire pit tonight after your gig. You can invite 6 people, past or present, of an inspiration. It could be family, friends. It could be something as religion. It could be anything. You would do. Why?
Wow. I mean, that's a big question. I'll probably have my old man there. He comes along to most of the gigs and stuff as well. He's sitting behind us on the table over there as well. So he's a bit of a singer and a guitarist as well. So another talented person to have around the fire pit. I mean, God, six people is a lot of people. I mean, maybe Kit Moore because he's a bit of an influence. I quite like, dude. A bit of modern country, and he's got a bit of a rocky vibe, which I quite like. I mean, Mark Knopfler, probably. Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler. A bit of an influence. My dad was a big, Dire Straits fan, and I sort of inflicted that. Inflicted's probably the wrong word, but that was the sort of music I listened to when I was young. And maybe just the whole of like Motley Crue, something like that, just the live thing.
That sounds like a plan, You're probably the first one, probably the second one that's not had Willie Nelson. Everybody's had Willie Nelson.
Well, if he's going to be there. Why. If he's going to be there anyway, that's quite...
Good shout. Well, good luck tonight, mate, and look forward to your new stuff coming out soon.
Lovely.
All the best.
See you.
That was Andrew Jones performing his song End of My Old Street, plus a chat that we had at the BCMA Fan Fest, and yet another, just a great performance. Andrew has also performed at Live in the Living Room Gives Back events, and every time I see him perform, he absolutely kills it. And because of that, I urge you all to give him a follow on his socials. His handles are just below. Now, next up are another great band. Here are Recovering Satellites with their song Footprints of a Ghost.
This time yesterday, hair was pounded from the morning sun. I threw on my clothes and took a leak, thinking what the hell have I done? It wasn't you lying next to me. I drank so much that I could hardly see. Then it kinda dawned on me, it's been 6 months since you were gone. Looking back, life will go on. Memory is like a pretty song, and I don't know where I'm gonna go. It's like following the footprints of a ghost. It's like following the footprints of a ghost. Woo. I should have left this town gone yesterday. Packed up my shit, get on my way back home. Should have hit the road like I don't care. Take me on my well-worn out way. Stop for a drink to maybe have a little think. This fine young thing looks at me right across the bar. It's time to go, but I can't say no as she starts to sing and play on her guitar. she's singing. No, looking back, life must go on. Memory is like a pretty song, and I don't know where I'm gonna go. It's like following the footprints of a ghost. It's like following the footprints of a ghost. Woo! It's like following the footprints of a ghost. It's like following the footprints of a ghost, but you'll never find her.
That was Recovering Satellites with their song Footprints of a Ghost, and it just was such an... It was absolutely fantastic watching them perform, which I've not had the chance to do before, and they are now a regular feature on my Spotify playlist. I love listening to them. Absolutely fantastic. So yes, Recovering Satellites with Footprints of a Ghost. Now we get towards the end of the show, and we have one more performance, an interview to show you. And it comes from the man who stole the show at this year's BCMA Fan Fest. He absolutely smashed his own set and was called up to duet with multiple artists, the likes of Gareth Nugent and Tom Carey. Absolutely killed it. He also led the campfire at the end of the whole event. We was all gathered around outside the main building with this lovely little campfire. The sun was just setting and it was still very, very warm, and he had his guitar out and we were all singing together, having a couple of drinks, and it really was a wonderful, memorable thing that I'll never, ever forget. He was constantly engaging with fans, and he really showed what it is to be a great UK country singer, and showed what was exactly amazing and what is perfect about our UK country music family. So with that being said, to finish off, here is Alan Finlan with This Drink Is Like Having You Home.
Hey everyone, this is Alan for Live in the Living Room, and this is probably one of my favourite tracks that I've ever written, and this is This Drink Is Like Having You Home. There's a watch that I have, face down by glass. Time goes as if it's full or it's clear. It wasn't part of my plan, starting over again. But I resist but you brought me here. There's no closing time when you're here alone. If it's the wine, the whiskey, or rum, with the highs that I get, or the lonely regret, this drink is like having you home. There's a time when I rise, or I open my eyes. The thoughts, they haunt me like ghosts. 'Cause there's drinks that don't miss, there's those that play tricks. It hurts the one you love the most. There's no closing time when you're here alone. If it's the wine, the whiskey, or rum, with the highs that I get, or the lonely regret, this drink is like having you home. Spent all day on the road, I pick up then offload, trying to make the next stop on the plane. When I finally get home, the nights that go slow, I take the damn watch off my hand. There's no closing time when you're here alone. If it's the wine, the whiskey, or the rum, with the highs that I get, or the lonely regret, this drink is like having you home. No, I'm not that man like Jack with Diane. This drink is like having you home.
We're getting towards the end of the BCMA Fan Fest here in 2022. We're at the Newark Showground. I'm joined by one of the superstars this weekend, Alan Finlan. Hi Alan.
You good?
I'm grand. I'm absolutely exhausted now. It's been 3 days of drinking, a lot of hot weather, and a lot of great music.
Oh yeah, tons of great music. Like the lineup's been incredible. It's nice to see so many people I haven't seen in a long time, people I have seen recently, and just bringing like a really like this festival is always a relaxed vibe. Like, you know, we've been sat out most of the day. Tanning,
catching the sun,
and it's, you know, I just love the fact that it's always chilled out every year that I come here, and it gets better and better as well. Like the lineup, you cannot fault it. Just take me out of the equation because that makes me sound like a big idiot. But yeah, the entire lineup was incredible.
But that's the thing though, I want to include you in everything because the fact that every single show throughout the Friday, the Saturday and the Sunday, everywhere you go, you're like a magnet. Everybody is attracted to you, and for the right reasons, because you're just so insanely talented.
And not hard to miss.
And well, the height is, you know, the height's obviously an added bonus. You know, you can stand above the crowd and, you know, you're recognisable.
Yeah, but it's nice when people approach me anyway. I always take time out to speak to people because, you know, they make my dream happen. So
yeah.
You know, you normally come up to me, oh, sorry to bother you, give me everything you've got in conversation, just tell me some life stories, because you live better lives than me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that I always find amazing about particularly the UK country scene here, is the fact that everybody is so close-knit, you know.
Yes.
When we first arrived, it's a case of, okay, we're sat in the big area where the, you know, Horizon stage is, where the main stage is. And you look across and it's fans mixed with artists, everybody's chatting, everybody's getting involved.
Yeah.
And it's like you mentioned, you know, it's such a chill atmosphere, and what Wayne at the BCMA and everybody else has done, particularly Gene hosting, has done an amazing job this week.
Yeah, this week, like because where they haven't done it since lockdown because of the what I like to call is the Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
Yeah.
And you never wanted to get tickets to that. It was so like to have like that such a long gap, and then for them to finally come back with this, and they're sort of they did bring it back with a bit more of a bang than what 2019 had, and I think a few people were still a little bit sort of apprehensive because of COVID.
Yeah.
But we still had a very nice crowd. I mean, you know, it's little numbers, but at the same time it makes it more intimate, and you can chat with pretty much everyone you see.
Yeah.
So it does have its benefits, and you know, the only little drawback is it needs more crowd. But again, the music's still good.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. Talking about the music though, this weekend has been filled with such amazing acts, and that is including yourself, because you have stolen the show so many times. I mean, you had your own amazing set on the Friday night, and then following on to like the Saturday, you was joined, you know, on stage with the likes of, you know, Gareth Nugent. You had Tom Carey, and some of your duets were just to die for.
Yeah, because me and Tom in passing, because we met for the first time at the BCMA Christmas party in, can't remember where it was. It was Myerscough College at the Stumble Inn.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, we had one or two beers. By the end of the night, we just sort of stayed on stage because I closed the night off. I did a few things with my loop station and things like that, and we just started singing on stage. I think we did Whiskey Lullaby. And then he just went, right, if I just do the guitar to Tennessee Whiskey, do you want to just sing along? And I was like, yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
And then A Million Ashes, Ash Cooper came and joined us on the back. And when me and Tom started singing, he just went, holy, I'm going. And then everyone sort of remembered it, and we were like, well, should we try it again? And he went, do you want to come and do it? And I went, yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and then as I was prepping to go up, Gareth was setting up yesterday, and he was like, do you want to come on and do Beer Never Broke My Heart? And I went, I can't leave a festival without doing a Luke Combs song.
I mean, you know, I don't like comparing artists to other, you know, bigger artists, because it takes it away from yourself. But you are also spitting, you know, vocally, your range is so diverse. You know, you can hit those high and low notes so eloquently, so brilliantly, so beautifully. And you really do nail it. And like you say, you know, you've got to do it when it comes.
Oh yeah. No, I did it at Buckingham Boots as well, because it got through my whole set. I did it, you know, took every Luke Combs related thing out of my set and put a Cody Johnson number in, as well as a tribute to my late granddad's. I did Country Roads, which you know, did choke me a little bit, but it was all part of the healing process, and the crowd definitely helped me heal. And I said again for this one, I was like, right, I'm not doing any Luke Combs.
Yeah.
So I did, out of the weirdest selection, a Matchbox 20 cover.
Yes.
I did 3 AM, which I heard it and I was like, do you know what, I kind of need to play it.
Yeah.
It was in my head for about a month, so I was like, bang, right. And then I had like a number of covers that I said to the band, right, what are we going to do? So, you know, I put out I'm in a Hurry and Don't Know Why, but I did the Florida Georgia line because the drums on that are just heavy.
Yeah.
So I was like,
in.
Yeah, it just kicks right in. And then I was like, Chris came to me and he was like, nah, shall we just practice another one just in case, like, we shorten the set list down and things like that.
Yeah.
We had to shorten down the set list, unfortunately, because of timing and curfew issues, because 11 o'clock is be shush time.
Yeah.
So I just went, what do I own or a cover? End the night. They're going to an after party, cover. And I just went, we've rehearsed this for 10 minutes under the tree, outside the venue. Let's do Brand New Man.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned, you know, playing your own songs and covers. What is it like for yourself to be on the stage and actually see people sing back your songs?
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It is just the most mind-blowing thing when I can see people mouthing the words back to me, and it's just, I don't know, it's like a weird euphoric feeling inside of me that's just like, this is happening, this is a dream that's happening, they're helping me like get to my dream and what I want to do, and they love what I'm doing and I love them. So, you know, it's all the same sort of mutual feeling coming back and forth. And you know, they always say, it's taken quite a long time, and people always say, oh, you know, you have so much like sort of stage presence on there, and like things like that. It's something you learn.
Yeah.
You have to really get on there. So when I get behind the microphone, when I was doing the sound check, so immediately, you've always got to imitate the greatest, Mr. Freddie Mercury.
Oh, definitely.
You Deo.
Yeah.
Deo. And then I ended up doing my near Motley Crue metal screaming.
I mean, at first, before you actually came on, I was outside and I heard you doing that, you know, Freddie Mercury, you know, the raises. And it was like, yeah, Alan's now on, we make a beeline. And you could see everybody kind of like swarming in and getting ready.
I couldn't see anything because the lights were, I think everyone else was okay because they're not as tall as me, but the perfect eye line was where the spotlights were. So I was just like, I can't see ya, but I can hear ya.
It was like a flood. It was like everybody just came in and everybody was loving it. It was amazing to see. It was amazing to see you on stage and living your best life. You really are.
Living my best life.
Best life, that's what it's about. Now, when it comes to actually coming towards the end of your sets, I know you've played with, you know, Gareth Nugent, you've played with Tom Carey, you've played, you know, yourself, and I know Gareth played with Ellinor Springstrike as well. What's it like when you get towards the end of your sets? You know you've only got like one song left. What goes through your head then is like, oh, quick, I've got to choose the best song, or this is my next favourite, or do you think about the crowd and say, oh, this is what they want the most?
So yeah, like that's what I said about like, do I play one of my own or do I play a cover? And that's when I went for Brand New Man by Brooks and Dunn, because it was like an after party and everyone knows the song, you want to pump it out. I mean, you know, I'd love to have carried on playing, but obviously, yeah, again, curfews and stuff.
Yeah.
But it happens, and it was the same when we got an encore, and I don't really want to say that I was the only one who wasn't a headliner that got an encore at Buckland Boots, but I think I was.
Yeah.
I'd already ran off stage and gone to the front and found the nearest person and just went, he was crap, wasn't he? And he turned round and went, oh, hello. And then the sound guy came back and he was like, well, you play one more? And I was like, nah. And they're like, yes.
Seriously?
And they said, listen.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And then, you know, got rushed back and all the guys were like bringing the guitars back down and I went, guys, we need to do an encore. What are we going to do? And I just went, 3 easy chords. DCG, Sweet Home Alabama, let's go.
Crowd lover. It's a crowd please.
Oh, it is. As soon as you hear the bum bum bin out, and then I'll just do the turn it up.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, thank you so much for such a wonderful weekend, because you really have brought, you know, everything to it, and you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You've really raised the bar again and again and again.
Every time, 110% or nothing.
Now, when it comes to your own music, have you got anything coming out in the near future?
Not the very near future, but there is going to be something in the near future. My co-writer, Stephen Manley, he's currently in New York on a holiday with his family. A very well-deserved holiday, I must say. He's an incredible songwriter. If anyone needs any help with songwriting, just hit him up. He is really good.
Yeah.
He works with the likes of Jen Atkin. He's worked with Tom Taylor. I think he's worked with a couple of people over in America as well. He's such a good talent with songwriting, and I can't thank him enough for. He was one pretty much sort of skyrocketed me on the journey. So hands down to him. And I said to him, because I invited him to Buckland Boots as he was leaving, I turned around and went, right, we've got half a songbook of unfinished songs, half a songbook of finished songs, we'll get it done.
Yeah.
So I'm setting up my spare room at home, I'm turning it into a recording studio for ease of access, because I'm a part-time bartender and a struggling musician, would you believe?
Yeah.
It is hard to find the money to actually find production and recording times in a studio, so I will, I'll let into the little secrets, Battle of the Bands, Whiskey Eyes, Passenger Seat, and This Drink Is Like Having You Home have all been recorded in my bedroom.
Smashing. I mean, it's insane, because, people, obviously, a lot of people don't realise how much it actually does cost to go to a studio, pay for a producer, pay for the mixing, the mastering at the end of it, it all adds together, and then there's the distribution
as well.
Distribution fees that go on top of that. It's a lot of money, but when you can kind of utilise your own space, it's a very business savvy move.
Yeah.
I've got to commend you for that.
Yeah, no, because I've always said that I probably made the poorest life choices up until I started, you know, singing, songwriting and things like that. So I'm so happy now that I'm making the right choices, and the people in the crowds are making me believe that I have made the right choices as well.
Yeah.
So they, you know, again, I just can't thank people enough.
Yeah, well,
for this whole thing.
If you wasn't making the right choices, you wouldn't be drawing the crowds in, and you
I wouldn't
really
have been made a headliner, I don't think.
You really do deserve it, and thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being here.
No
It's been
problem.
an absolute honour. Where can we find you if you're not following Alan on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? Where can we find you?
This is where I turn to the camera.
Yeah.
You can find me on all social media sites at Alan Finlan Music, and you can also find me on YouTube on the same, as well as www.alanfinlan.com, where you can find my merchandise. You can buy some t-shirts on there. I'll be updating the designs myself because I design everything I do. Again, cost.
Yeah.
and I used to be a graphic designer and video game designer and things like that. So
all ties in then.
Yep, it all ties in. So you know, it's any ways to make my little bit of money so I can start doing the next song. So if anyone wants to do that, please, I'd appreciate that. I've also got CDs for sale. I did have them for sale, but everyone sort of wandered off to the after party before they wanted to buy any. So I've just got them in a box left in the background. But yeah, no, that's where you can find me. Spotify, Apple. What are the other ones? Deezer. And if anyone's got an old XP computer, please download it off of LimeWire. That'd be amazing if you got a virus off of one of my songs. That'd be fun.
LimeWire and BearShare, those are the days. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Alan, for coming on. And again, amazing work. And if you are looking to go to a festival and you see Alan's name turn up on the headlining acts, get yourself there because it will be a great party. Thank you, Alan.
No worries.
That was Alan Finlan performing his song, This Drink Is Like Having You Home, and a chat that we had with the man himself. And Alan really did bring the house down with his performances, and everything about the weekend truly was spectacular. If you aren't following Alan on his socials yet, why not? His links are just below. I also want to thank everyone at the BCMA for allowing us to chat with all the amazing artists at this year's BCMA Fan Fest. Wayne, Jean and Paul, and everyone else, you have done an amazing job at bringing such a fantastic festival back to the UK country scene. And we really have missed you guys, and it is so wonderful to be able to be a part of the country music scene again and to witness great artists performing in such a wonderful setting. Thank you all for tuning in, and don't forget to hit that follow and subscribe button. Whilst you're at it, hit the bell so you don't miss anything in the future. Take care, I'll see you at next year's BCMA Fan Fest, and bye for now.